first started were really about a community coming together and having a celebration and inviting college football teams to join them. And unfortunately, I think in today's world of college athletics, and there's some great things with college football, I think we've lost sight of that a little bit. And there's no doubt in my mind the experience that we've had thus far is really grounded on a community coming together, doing things in a first-class way, celebrating these two great programs as we get ready to play. We've got a great deal of respect for Georgia State. Well, I don't know Coach Elliott well. He enjoys a great national reputation, and I understand the coaching tree that he's worked under. I know many of those men. They have an excellent football team. I think we have an excellent football team as well. So we're looking forward to the game. It should be very competitive.
Questions, Emma?
Craig, have you made a decision of who will start at quarterback?
Yes, we have. Levi Williams will be our starting quarterback. We've had a great competition, both with he and Tyler, and they're both team players. We'll see how the game unfolds, but we made a determination going into this game that Levi is going to give us the best opportunity for us to win. Both those two guys have played a lot of football, and we'll utilize that, but right now we're going with Levi.
What did he show you in practice that gave him the nod?
Well, I think he's continued to embrace our offense as we looked at a lot of the elements in our offense to continue to stress the defense. You know, he came off the scout team several weeks ago and was integrated in to our game plan and what has occurred during that time. He's embraced our offense more. He's a bright young man. He did have the advantage. He was an early enrollee out of high school, so he had a spring football with us, and Austin can comment on those things. But he's done a great job. I do want to be real clear on this. We really are thankful for Tyler. Tyler's done everything that we've asked him to do. He's graduated. In today's world of quarterbacks transferring here and there, sometimes there's some bad feelings that occur one way or the other. That's really not the case with our football team, with Tyler, and these guys up here can echo that. So we're excited about where Tyler's going to go in the future, and we've got one more game with him. And we're really excited about the future with Levi. Our starting quarterback at the beginning of the year is injured, and Levi's progressed, so we're excited about him.
Do you think this would be a different decision if Tyler hadn't entered the transfer portal? I mean, how much did that kind of?
No, I wouldn't say that's the case, and that's a fair question. We understand the reason why you've asked that question, but we're just looking at coming up with the closing elements of our game plan that give our football team the best chance to win, and then also how those two quarterbacks complement one another while our offense doesn't change drastically. There are different things that each guy does well, and we feel like Levi has continued to grow within our offense, and so we're able to, Coach Deegan's been able to expand that offensive playlist, which is going to help us.
Austin, what do you like about Levi? What does he bring to the table, and what's it like catching passes from him?
He's just different. We knew from the beginning when Levi stepped in how poised he was and how calm he was. And I think that was exciting for us because, usually when you get a freshman at quarterback, he's jittery and he's just all over the place. But we didn't do that with Levi. And he's one kid that progressively gets better. Every single time Levi takes the field, he wants to get better. And I think the coolest thing about Levi is he's asking the older guys for guidance as a freshman, which shows how mature he is because, once you're a quarterback, you feel like, not necessarily, but sometimes you feel like you know it all. That's not him. He's always looking to get better. And that's what he's done. He's putting the ball in the money. He's throwing really well. He's practicing really well, and he's emerging as a leader. I think that's what we really need as the football team, but also as an offense.
Maybe some of you may not know, but Austin, in his own right, was an outstanding quarterback.
I wondered how close he was to being put in the game.
He moved him around a little bit, but some of his comments are really heartfelt because he understands the unique position of playing quarterback. So I don't think there's a question.
Running the ball is obviously what you guys do, but you talk about needing to be more balanced. Do you think Levi gives you the chance for this offense to be more balanced?
The answer is yes, but I paused. Obviously, the ability that Levi has to run also. And in today's world of college football, unlike the NFL game, there's a hat that you can count for when your quarterback is not a mobile quarterback or a dual threat guy. But Levi has that. But what has progressed is his ability to be more competent in the passing game, where his reach to take the football. And Austin could probably echo that. His accuracy's improved. We chart that all the time. And so while I would say we need to throw the ball better, the decision for him to play and start was not necessarily on the fact that we feel like Levi's a better passer than Tyler. We just feel like we're able to open up the playbook a little bit.
Question for Logan. Coach mentioned the other day that a lot of guys who are in your position, pro prospects, they decide to skip the bowl game. Did that ever cross your mind?
No, it never crossed my mind. It was funny, the first time I even got asked about it was by him at practice, like 2 weeks into practice before we left to come to Arizona. So that's just not something I would think about. I know a lot of guys that are, might be in that position that want to do that kind of stuff, but that's just not who I am. So I wasn't even thinking about it.
So why was it important for you? I mean, obviously you've got an NFL future to think about, so why was it important for you to play this game and finish it out?
It's just important for me to show that I'm a team first guy. I'm not gonna be a selfish guy that just wants to go out and not put my body at risk for my teammates. I owe it to Coach Bohl anyways to play for this program. He gave me an opportunity 5 years ago, the opportunity of a lifetime to come here and earn a meaningful degree and play football at the highest level. So I owe that to him and his team to do that.
One thing I'd like to make a comment. What's interesting is, and not to have disparaging remarks for some of those guys who choose to bypass their year, but I've had a significant amount of dialogue with general managers throughout the National Football League. And even though you look at some of these guys are getting information from agents and different people to say not to play, it really has proven to be a valuable asset, because whether you're playing football at the professional level or the collegiate level or the high school level, it's a team game. And so many of the general managers are looking at what kind of guys we're going to invest in a draft pick, or what kind of guy is going to be in our locker room. A couple of years ago, we had a quarterback, Josh Allen, who now plays with the Buffalo Bills, and that really spoke in his favor. They were looking for the right fit in their organization. There was a lot of probing questions, and there was some pressure on the outside for Josh to not play, just like Logan. And it really has actually helped the guys' stock. So I'd like to send that message out there that when you hear all this, okay, you may get injured. They're looking at, well, we're investing in a football player that wants to be a team player, that not afraid of contact. And so I appreciate Logan's decision. There was not pressure on my part. I had a conversation with him, and I think that kind of gives you an idea of a window of what kind of locker room we have at the University of Wyoming.
Cooper, after Boise, was that a chance to kind of reset in your mind, and you've swung it really well ever since? How confident are you coming into this one, and was that kind of a moment where you kind of reset things?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a moment where I can just look back and just realize the 4 years I've been here, just everything. I'm blessed to be in the situation I am with great teammates like Logan and AC, and Coach Bohl, my position coach, so he's done a great job teaching me.
Props.
He's done a great job teaching me mentally how to handle your things and just go about your business the right way. We talk about being cowboy tough, just being able to forget about the past and move on. And I think he's done a great job of teaching me how to do that, and just looking at my teammates, them supporting me. I think they've done a great job of that too.
How about you, Coach? Same question. Have you seen that out of him, the mental toughness?
Yeah, that's been consistent even when he was a freshman. And one of the things that we look at when we recruit a specialist, beyond maybe just the skill set they have, we really look at their background. Cooper was a 3-sport athlete, ultra competitive guy in high school. And one of the things that progresses guys is you're not always going to hit every kick. And the guy that just kind of goes in a bad negative circle, is not going to respond well. And so I think the kick that he had against Colorado State, which is our rival, was a huge kick. But we've seen that. And it's not like he needs a lot of, he and I are really candid with one another. I don't know a heck of a lot about place kicking, but I do think I understand about people. And he's been a marvelous athlete to work with. Just, you know, he'll go through, okay, why didn't I get this? And what do I need to improve on? And you have a great deal of confidence sending him out there, just like we did in that CSU situation that, you know, the pass he's gonna, and he split the uprights. And so, I'll certainly be, missing him. He and I have spent a great deal of time the last 4 years together.
Hey Logan, when you think back to when you came out of Natrona County High School, this was really the one place that made an offer to you. Are you amazed at all or surprised, or how do you feel about the way you progressed in these 5 years?
You know, I never thought I'd be in the shoes I'm in right now, but I also wouldn't say having my chance. I just kind of put my head down and worked. It's just kind of how I was raised from my parents. You know, just putting in the work and doing all the stuff, all the little things the right way. So like I said, I don't think I have my chance, but, you know, I am maybe a little surprised that I'm in the position I'm in right now.
Does it hit any of you three guys that this is it? Like you're gonna play your last games and sort of set it at all?
No, I know I had my last practice the other day. That hit. You know, we do a big traditional series where after practice, coach allows every senior to speak to the team and get out, you know, express how they feel, get out how just talk about the team, guidance, everything that you can offer the young guys. And I think that's when it hit for me that I'm not going to be here with these guys anymore and be here with coach. It's different. It's going to be different because I love these guys. I love coach. And coach, everyone will tell you, you know, we're grateful for the opportunity you gave us. And truly, truly, truly blessed.
Oh, thanks.
So it's going to be hard.
They're gonna speak today. Cooper already spoke, but I always have a hard time because these guys, you see them when they first come in, they're young guys and they're trying to find their way, and they don't have whiskers, and you know, and the next thing you know, they're gone. And the words that they say to our younger players are really powerful. And so it's always like Austin said, you probably picked up a tinge of emotion. He has. College football's special, and these guys have been special for our program.
It's you guys' third bowl game that you guys will have gone to. It's a hectic schedule. You know, yesterday there was the bull riding thing, there was the hospital stuff in the morning. But with it being your last one, do you kind of cherish those sorts of things a little bit more?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's just one last time with the teammates. I think that's pretty special to us. And you know, some of the guys were a little upset with how late it was because they don't get a longer break. But for us, you know, we're grateful for it. We've been with the guys for 4 years now. They're our family, and you know, that's another 2 weeks with the extended family. And you know, in my speech too, I said I came in with one brother and I'm leaving with 100+ brothers. So I think that's pretty cool to be able to spend more time with them.
For anybody, what role do you think special teams might end up playing in the game tomorrow?
Is that a question
For you or for?
Well, you know what, I can add. The other guy says he's our punt returner. He wasn't special teams. Not good enough to play special.
It's funny. As you get older, the more you learn about football, and you don't realize how critical special teams are, how important it is to a game. Special teams always is a deciding factor. I know Coach brings it up all the time because Coach he's a details kind of guy. You gotta be right everywhere, every single thing you do, and he always harps on special teams. I think special teams is going to have a huge impact on the game, which it always does. You can swing momentum, you can lose momentum. It's going to be super important. I mean, I guarantee you, Coop, and any other specialists, they understand that. That's why they go and they work their butts off to try to put us in position to win.
Logan, now that you guys have had a chance to obviously watch much of film and prepare for these guys, what is it about Barnett and this rushing attack that you think will offer you guys a challenge? How you guys go about trying to stop it?
You know, our coaches have put in the time and effort to give us a great game plan. Ultimately, it's going to come down to how well we execute it. You know, I think we've had good practice up to this point, and so I'm excited for the challenge. You know, they're good up front. They got a good running back, good quarterback. Their running back seems to always fall forward for extra yardage, which is hard. So we just got to be sure tacklers, and we got to wrap up and hope the rest of the squad, you know, comes in and helps tackle them down. So it just comes down to how well we execute it. But you know, we trust in our coaches. We know we have a good game plan.
For anybody, most of the time when you go up 6-6, like you guys did last year, you make a bowl game. What was the reaction among the team when you found out that didn't, and how has that served as motivational fuel for you throughout this year?
I think these guys would probably be in a better position to answer that. I have some pretty heartfelt comments, but they're the players. I do say this though, college football is a unique time and a great experience, and bowl games are sometimes when you hear maybe a national writer or commentator say that they're meaningless games, that's a bunch of malarkey. All these games are really important, and so we value that. But I think these guys can give you a better window because they were the ones out there putting in the sweat and the blood. So anybody have an answer to that?
I think it's just a testament of our team. I remember last year around this time, a lot of guys were kind of upset about the fact that we weren't playing the bowl game. But I guarantee you every single guy came into January workouts with a chip on their shoulder. And it shows. We worked really hard this offseason. We've had many talks as a team. We've had many just venting sessions about how we didn't want to go down that road again. And I think that really helped us get through the winter, helped us get through the summer. Because guys worked out really hard, guys prepared really hard. I think guys had an edge, and it was just different. You can tell by the way the season went. You can tell the way we play for each other. And I know my two teammates can vouch for me. Our locker room is tighter than it's ever been, and that's just a testament of guys just coming together and having the same motive, having the same motivation, and going out there and working. And I think this, obviously, being here is a testament to that because we didn't want to be denied a bowl game.
Austin, how far has Levi evolved even from when he enrolled early to now, just in terms of his throwing, his passing ability?
It's night and day, to be honest with you. I just remember there were times where we were looking and we were saying, man, Levi he can make some plays. And then now he's in that position where like this guy's really come a long way. I mean, I've obviously mentioned he's a lot more accurate, but a lot more confidence. I think confidence is key as a quarterback or for any position, but especially for that position. Because he knows guys are behind him, he knows he has our support, but now he plays like that. He plays like he knows we have his back, and that's super important for Levi. This has gone a long way. He's making more precise decisions, a lot quicker in his decision making. He's commanding the huddle, and that's huge. So I think, like I said, it's night and day.
Did you even see that improvement from the start of bowl practices until now?
Yeah, every day he gets better. That's what you want. You never stay the same. You get worse, you get better. And Levi's really got better.
Craig, will Titus still be available for the game?
Titus is available, but he's not going to be in the rotation unless there's some unforeseen. And that happens sometimes at running backs. We just didn't feel like he had progressed with his movement, changed direction. He's cleared to play, but just hasn't progressed. And a lot of times, maybe unlike another position, when you're a skill player and you need to have a change of direction, explosion, and quickness, he's just not progressed to where we wanted him to be. He will suit up. He has taken some reps, but we've had him on the scout team the last couple of days.
Over the last month, have any younger guys kind of stepped up in your eyes that we might see tomorrow?
You could see a couple defensive ends just on a certain rotation, depending on if we get in a lengthy drive. That could be the case. Outside of that, I don't. There could be a couple wide receivers. And that's not any knock on AC, but sometimes you're rotating some guys in there, and we've got some really, I think, excellent potential guys at wide receiver. They don't know how to play wide receiver yet. They're not as skilled as Austin, but they've proven their worth over these bowl game practices that they can come in and operate, just not be a decoy out there. And so those are some other guys.
Logan, obviously you can't hit Levi, but in practice, but you face him, you're across the line from him, what does he bring in your eyes?
I think he's got a lot of the same. We don't get to practice against him. We double rep, but from what I've seen from afar, he's got a lot of the same leadership qualities as Sean does. Just kind of one of those, the it factor. You can't really coach that thing, and when you have a quarterback like that, especially as a freshman, we've been lucky to have two of them that have that. It's very easy for the guys on offense, I think, to get behind and play hard for. And quarterback is a position that is obviously in a big leadership role. So when you have freshmen step in like that and can do that, I think that's very important and very key for our offense.
Coach, you have a very robust walk-on program. How have you developed that and why is that important?
Well, my nature, I was a walk-on player at the University of Nebraska. Coach Osborne had a profound effect on me as far as philosophy, understanding that football is a developmental game. There's a lot of places in the country that program would not flourish. But when you look at maybe our nature and our culture, the state and the people that we have, we're hardworking. The people in Wyoming are made up of people that are resilient, that are hardworking, that want to overcome and achieve. And to have a program like that, you need to have things in place for guys that come in on a non-scholarship role to understand they have a place on the team, and then also to acknowledge that we've given 33 scholarships, full scholarships to walk-on since I've been our head coach. And so that's a pretty significant number, and it sends a message beyond the rhetoric, okay, we want you to walk on and be a scout team guy. It means that you're valued, it's important, and I would say these guys would echo this, is when you're on the team, you're on the team. Other than who's writing the tuition check, we really don't care. And if you ask a lot of people, they wouldn't know who's on scholarship and who's not. And so we don't do the deal where, somebody gets a scholarship and they stage it and everybody jumps up and down and it looks all great and it's on Football Scoop. And it's always been one of the neatest things for me to pull a guy aside and say, hey, we're in a position to give you a scholarship. And then beyond the guys that are scholarship, the other guys that are not scholarship, they have a role to play also. And so it comes down to a culture, a value system. And one of the reasons why in a rigorous conference that we're in, I think the Mountain West, if you look at our conference and how it has competed nationally against other, quote, Power 5 leagues, a big part of that is because of the depth that we have. And as you get later on in the year, there are guys that are playing meaningful reps, and many of those guys are either non-scholarship or came as a non-scholarship player. And so we're a developmental program, and that's been, somewhat of a hallmark for us.
Any further questions?